Welcome back to Jules Math Tools, where math is made easy. In this session, we're going to begin diving into division, and we're going to begin by using our one-digit dividend, and we're using numbers that range from 1 to 5. Now, when it comes to division, I usually teach division in my class by using the same number and just changing the divisor as we work through the question. With doing that, that kind of helps the students with being able to see how the numbers or how their division process changes as their numbers increase or as they decrease. So as we go through our series on dividing whole numbers, I will also be giving you some tips that would help you along the way with working out your questions. So if you're ready to learn how to divide when you have a one-digit dividend, let's get started. So in our question today, I will also be converting our question to the division bracket. And remember that with using the division bracket, the number that comes first, which is 7 in this case, is your dividend, and that is always written on the inside of your division bracket. And the divisor is written on the outside, which is 1 in this case. So let's begin with our working. So we have 1 dividing into 7, which is equal to 7. And we have 7 times 1 is equal to 7. And usually at this case, or forgive me, usually at this stage, when we get to subtraction, one of the things that I also do with my students that kind of helps them with being able to know where to write their product after they're done multiplying, as I usually write here, I write 1 times 7 just to remind them that we got this answer or this number that is underneath our 7 in the division bracket by multiplying 1 times 7. So they know that the answer to their multiplication, which is their product, is always written underneath our divisor. So we have 1 times 7 is equal to 7, and we have 7 subtract 7 is equal to 0. So our quotient for this question is equal to 7. So let's move to our second example. Okay, so for our next example, we have 2, which is our divisor, goes on the outside, and our 7, which is our dividend, goes on the inside. Okay, so let's begin our division. So we have 2 divides into 7, which is 3. You have 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. 7 subtract 6 gives us a difference of 1. So our quotient for this question is 3 remainder 1. Let's move on to our next example. So in this one, we have 3 is divided into 7, or 7 is being divided by 3. And remember that I know some students say that 7 divided by 3 or 3 divided by 7 is the same thing. Remember that they are not the same thing. The process on how they are written is not even the same way. I probably would need to do a separate video on touching on something like that as well. But just remember to be very mindful of saying or writing your questions, your numbers for your questions in the incorrect place, because once you change the numbers, you change your answer as well. So we have 3 divides into 7 2 times. We have 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And 7 subtract 6 gives us a difference of 1. So our quotient for this question is 2 remainder 1. Okay, so let's move on to our next example. We have 4 dividing into 7. So 4 divides into 7 once. We have 1 times 4 is equal to 4. And 7 minus 4 gives us the difference of 3. So our quotient for this question is 1, and we have a remainder of 3. And for our final example, we have 7 being divided by 5. So our 5 is written on the outside, our 7 is written on the inside. 5 divides into 7 once. We have 1 times 5 gives us 5. 7 minus 5 gives us a difference of 2. So our quotient for this question is 1, remainder 2. Okay, so there you have it. We just calculate the quotient of our numbers when we have a single digit dividend, and we were just writing the remainder. Remember that I am going to work through different methods and show you how you can write your answers as fractions and decimals. We'll be going to do that in a separate video, but I hope this was very helpful to you. Remember that with division, the only way that you can get better is to practice. It may seem a bit scary, but as you practice, you will find that the process becomes a whole lot easier. So make sure you look out for part 2 on this when we are dividing by numbers from 6 to 9. And I'll be right here in the next video on Jules Math Tools, where the aim is to make math easy.